Here we go. So this is from the book, and one of the things I want to go over are different types of errors that you guys have probably gotten, but don't necessarily know how to fix. So, for example, if I forget to put apostrophe at the end of this, the user input, review of errors, second hour resources. Oh, no, here. Why are you bringing up football right now, Mikey? No. Alright, so when you guys run this, end of line while scanning string literal. So you guys should realize that when it says EOL, what does that mean? Does anyone remember?
End of line.
End of line. Notice it also highlights in red the line you have an error at. So end of line while scanning string literal. So you have an end of line and we know what string means. We don't even need to know while scanning literal means. We just know end of line string, meaning our string doesn't end at the end of a line. So we can click OK. All this is highlighted and it goes away. It doesn't necessarily go away because we put the right thing. We could put anything there and it goes away. But that's an end of line scanning string literal error. We can also, I'm sure you guys have seen something like this, invalid syntax. What's wrong with this one? What? Oh, you got food. So equal Alice. Yep. So now invalid syntax. You guys see this? We need a colon. A lot of times I'll see something, hang on. You'll see something like this, where it just says invalid syntax and the E is highlighted. Typically, if you look at whatever's highlighted at the very beginning of a line and it's correct, like, is there something wrong with this elif? Did I misspell it? Is it not orange? If there's nothing wrong with it that you can see, you need to go to the top, the line above it. And almost every single time this happens, it's because you're missing a parentheses. So typically the line is like print, hey, or, 1 times 2 plus 2 times 4. Nope. But I want this to all be a string. So then I can go plus, wait, put that there, plus, I can't do int, plus hello there. Right? And you forget that last parenthesis. When you run it, you're going to see invalid syntax in the beginning. It's either going to be the beginning word or the beginning letter. I'm not 100% sure what differentiates the two. But if you see this highlighted at the very beginning of a line, 99% of the time it's your error is up here. And almost every single time it's up there, it's missing a parentheses. So you always have to have the same number of open parentheses as the same number of closed parentheses. So, does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now I'm going to jump into the shell. And you guys should have seen, I've seen people print 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, 3. The error tells you what's wrong. So I shouldn't necessarily be saying, I don't know what's wrong in this. Because it's literally telling you what's wrong here. Now you may not know how to fix it. That's a different issue. But you should at least be able to go, I can't add a string, can only concatenate string, not integer to string. So what is this saying? Right, Ezra and Stockton are totally right. This either needs to be a string, both of these need to be strings, or both of these need to be integers. So again, you may not know how to fix it. That's a different story than I don't know what's wrong. You should be able to go, oh, well, it's saying I can't concatenate strings to an integer. Once you know that, you should go, all right, well, I should be able to fix it. But there will be times when you get an error and you're like, this is saying this, and I don't know where in this line the error is because it's a really complex line of code. It's doing a bunch of math and adding stuff, and I'm not 100% sure why this is where my error is. That's different than not knowing what's wrong, because it will tell you what's wrong. It could be X is not defined. So if in your code you see, you know, name is Alice if name equal names, right? Because you forgot to do something, print hello. Again, it tells you the line and it tells you names isn't defined. So you should be able to go, oh, I forgot to define names. Now there's a document I have I'll put on the student resources folder that has very, very common errors. I forgot to do this unfortunately last week, but it should help. It will give you name errors. It will actually say name error means this, and it'll give you examples of end of line scanning string literal, what that means and how to fix it. So you guys that'll be in the student resources folder that you guys can download and keep and use. Well, if you're using it, actually I don't care when you use it, because if you're using it on a quiz, that is good for you because you're learning while you're doing it. Anyway, questions? Do you guys have you guys ever come up with an error that you don't know what it means?
No, it's more so like don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
And if I don't know what it means, Google probably does. So.
Yeah. You guys can use Google on everything except quizzes and tests. And the reason that is because I have to have some way of evaluating what you know in your head, not what you can Google in 2 minutes. Even though a huge part of programming is learning how to Google correctly, which is why in your homework and your final project, have at it. I don't care. But it's just I have to have a way to say Daniel knows. I don't know why I'm looking at David and saying Daniel. David knows how to code. He's just not copying and pasting off the internet. So, but like once you're a programmer, very rarely is it like, you have 45 minutes to write this code, Josh.
Yeah, that's how you get that quality code.
Yeah. That's how you get rushed to video games. You have 2 days to fix this. It took me 7 just to write it. I don't know. So, all right, well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to stop that video. That's going to be our common errors video. It's 8 minutes. That'll be a quick upload.